Welcome to World Prism. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. Picture a colossal train over a kilometer long, packed with everything from laptops to fast fashion, snaking across Eastern Europe. This is the China-Europe Railway Express, the steel artery of modern commerce, faster than a boat, cheaper than a plane, and the 21st century Silk Road. Now imagine that train grinding to a sudden, screeching halt at the Małaszewicze-Brest border, where Poland meets Belarus. On one side, Europe's eager consumers. On the other, a backlog of trains loaded with billions in goods. The border is closed. The signals are red. Nothing moves. It's not a minor delay, it's a full-blown shutdown. The world's most expensive game of red light, green light. Schedules are shredded, perishable cargo sits idle, and the hum of commerce is replaced by silence. The Polish government's message: the border is closed indefinitely. No exceptions. The great engine of Eurasian trade has just had a very large, very Polish spanner thrown into its works. Shockwaves ripple from Shanghai to Seville. What was a reliable 12-day journey is now impossible. The train, once a symbol of global connection, now stands as a stark reminder of how quickly borders can become walls. The goods inside represent more than economic value. They're the threads of a global supply chain now torn apart. The Małaszewicze-Brest crossing is no longer a gateway, but a bottleneck for a geopolitical crisis. The train to nowhere isn't just a logistical problem, it's a symbol of how fragile our interconnected world really is. Why did Poland slam the brakes on global trade? In short, security. In September 2025, Russia and Belarus staged massive military drills, including a simulated nuclear strike, right on the EU's doorstep. Faced with this, Poland shifted from prioritizing trade to prioritizing security, sealing the border until fully safe, a timeline with no end in sight. The message to Moscow and Minsk: military threats have economic consequences. Tensions had been rising for months, with Russian drones violating Polish airspace, and the railway now seen as a potential security risk. Shutting it down was drastic, but for Poland, necessary. A declaration that sovereignty trumps profit. Ironically, Poland had just launched its own freight service to China, hoping to become a logistics hub. Instead, it sacrificed that ambition to make a powerful political statement. The economic cost? Only beginning to be counted. The China-Europe Railway isn't niche, it's a multi-billion euro lifeline, moving nearly 4% of all EU-China trade. It's the just right option for high-value, time-sensitive goods, faster than ships, cheaper than planes. Now, it's all stuck. E-commerce giants like Temu and Shein, auto parts, electronics, even medical supplies. Businesses are hit hard. German car makers wait for microchips, French retailers for fashion that will be out of style by arrival. The just-in-time model, built for efficiency, is exposed as fragile. One broken link, and the whole system stalls. Companies scramble for answers, highlighting a core weakness. Our global supply chains are optimized for speed, not resilience. The Małaszewicze-Brest crossing handled 90% of this traffic. Its closure is a systemic shock, not a minor hiccup. A political decision in Poland is causing chaos for businesses and consumers across continents. The silent trains are a brutal reminder. Global trade is only as strong as its weakest border. The web of commerce is torn, and the ripple effects are just beginning. The world is learning the hard way how interconnected and vulnerable we really are. You might expect China to react with outrage to its flagship project being blocked. Instead, Beijing played it cool. Officially, China urged Poland to restore the rail link. No threats, no public finger-pointing. China knows this isn't really about them, it's about Russia. Escalating would only push Poland closer to the West. So, China opts for quiet diplomacy, hoping to resolve things behind closed doors. When Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi visited Warsaw, both sides smiled for the cameras. But Beijing's statement didn't mention the border at all. China's balancing act shows its domestic audience it's working on the problem, without risking a rift with the EU. The railway is important, but not enough to risk a major diplomatic fallout. For now, China waits, hoping the crisis will pass without forcing its hand. It's a patient game of chess, with every move calculated for maximum flexibility. The silent trains are a headache, but not yet a reason for confrontation. Poland's move sent shockwaves through global politics. The EU quickly backed Warsaw, framing the closure as a stand for collective security against Russian aggression. This rare EU unity sent a message to Moscow: provoke one, face all. In Washington, the US quietly welcomed the disruption to China's Belt and Road ambitions. For Russia, Belarus, and Kazakhstan, the closure meant lost revenue and influence, collateral damage in a bigger geopolitical game. Their frustration was clear, but they were powerless to change the situation. The silent trains became a symbol of deep geopolitical fault lines. The world's alliances and rivalries were suddenly visible on a stretch of railway in eastern Poland. While leaders debate, the real pain is felt by ordinary people. 10,000 Belarusian drivers, many working for Polish firms, found themselves stranded and jobless overnight. Their livelihoods vanished in the name of national security, a stark human cost. Polish logistics companies heavily invested in the China-Europe line now face financial ruin. Government compensation is promised but tangled in bureaucracy. Businesses scramble for alternatives, rerouting cargo onto ships, a process that's slower, costlier, and chaotic. Shipping delays mean missed sales, obsolete goods, and soaring costs, ultimately passed to consumers. The disruption exposes the fragility of global supply chains. Trust in fast, reliable rail freight is shattered, and companies are learning the risks of relying on a single route. The economic fallout is spreading, and the true cost is only starting to emerge. With its main artery to Europe cut, China is scrambling for alternatives, but none are ideal. Rerouting through Lithuania or Latvia offers limited capacity and new political headaches. The middle corridor bypasses Russia via Kazakhstan, the Caspian Sea, and Turkey. But it's slow, expensive, and logistically complex. Even the Arctic route, a polar Silk Road, remains a distant, risky dream, not a real solution. 90% of rail freight once flowed through Poland for a reason. It was the fastest, cheapest, most efficient path. The closure hasn't just blocked a route, it's shattered the economic logic of the China-Europe railway. This crisis is a harsh lesson in the risks of global trade in an unstable world. Decades of integration can be undone overnight by political conflict. The future of Eurasian trade may depend less on new routes and more on navigating a world with new walls. The silent trains at the border are a warning. In global trade, stability is never guaranteed.